Hello, dear listeners and viewers. You are welcome to our special program, Adustech in Focus, a retrospective perspective. Following a rigorous selection process and a formal handover ceremony, Professor Musa Tukuriakase assumed office as the sixth substantive Vice Chancellor of Aliko Dangote University of Science and Technology Wudel Adustech on January 8, 2023. Upon assumption of duty, the new administration articulated a clear objective to reposition the university as a leading institution recognized for academic excellence, innovation, and societal relevance. To actualize this vision, the Vice Chancellor introduced a 7-point agenda to guide policy direction and institutional reforms. The agenda emphasized inclusive governance, strict adherence to due process, financial prudence through compliance with established regulations and responsible budgeting, improved staff and student welfare and discipline, sustained capacity building through training and retraining of personnel, enhanced institutional visibility through ICT development and research outputs, and the strengthening of local and international collaborations. Administrative and infrastructure development. Within the review period, the university undertook extensive infrastructural and administrative improvements. The administrative complex was renovated and beautified, while office procedures were strengthened through the automation of key operations. The registry department was fully refurbished, and the Faculty of Science was relocated to a more suitable site. Several offices and the Academic Secretary's building were also renovated. Student accommodation facilities received major attention. Male and female hostels were comprehensively remodeled, including upgraded sanitary facilities, decongestion measures that limited female rooms to 6 occupants, and the installation of a 91,000-liter water reservoir to improve water supply. The communication arena was equally renovated. Campus development projects included construction of internal road networks, walkways and parking areas, interlocking works, installation of street and reading lights, perimeter fencing, and the creation of designated reading areas. 4 modern boreholes were drilled to improve water availability, while drainage and retaining walls were constructed to prevent flooding in hostel areas. Ongoing projects include a staff office complex sponsored by Dr. Ahmed Raji San, a male hostel block funded by Alhaji Dr. Mustafa Ado Muhammad of Amasco International Limited, and a 500-seat multipurpose hall under the TED Fund 2024 New Mall Intervention. Academic quality and accreditation. Academic development recorded notable progress. During the 2023 accreditation exercise conducted by the National Universities Commission (NUC), 24 programs were evaluated. 20 received full accreditation while 4 were granted interim status. The Kano State government supported the exercise with funding lecture theaters, including the 500-seat, and twin lecture theaters were upgraded with modern teaching and learning facilities such as projectors, smart boards, and improved seating. Laboratories were renovated and equipped with modern instruments and consumables, while machinery and equipment were procured for engineering, technical, and vocational programs. The university library was refurbished and stocked with updated books, journals, and periodicals. High-speed broadband fiber optic internet connectivity was deployed across campus through Galaxy Backbone, enabling round-the-clock internet access. In the Faculty of Computing and Mathematical Sciences, virtual reality devices and smart boards were installed, and a prototype service robot capable of performing routine office tasks was developed. Research, innovation, and partnerships. To strengthen research and innovation, several centers and directorates were established, including the Center for Agricultural Research and Development, Center for Digital Innovation and Artificial Intelligence, Center for Environmental and Climate Change Research, Center for Intellectual Property and Technology Transfer, Center for Gender and Livelihood Enhancement Studies, Career Service Center, and the Center for Distance Learning. The Vice Chancellor also secured externally supported research initiatives. The Gender, Climate Change and Nutrition Integration Initiative (GCAN) and the Irrigation Sustainability Mapping 2 Project ISMPT, launched between 2024 and 2025 respectively. A consultancy services unit was created to provide professional services to the public while generating internally generated revenue. The university further proposed irrigation-based mechanized farming on 17 acres of land at Gaya. Collaborations were strengthened with agencies including the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, and the Man-O-War Organization, which hosted its 2023 Commandant's National Conference at Adustech. Digital communication and visibility. To enhance visibility and public engagement, a digital and social media unit was established under the Office of the Vice Chancellor. The unit launched the Adustech e-News Bulletin, an online radio platform with a mobile application, a digital television channel hosted on YouTube, and an online news magazine. The university's presence across major social media platforms was significantly expanded. Welfare, security, and community engagement. Staff welfare initiatives included promotions, payment of hazard and other allowances, and recruitment of academic, technical, and non-teaching personnel across various categories to improve service delivery. Campus security was strengthened through collaboration with the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and specialized training provided to university security personnel by the Man-O-War Organization. A fire and rescue service unit was also established. In partnership with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the university conducted anti-drug abuse campaigns, including a 5,000 participant awareness walk. Community relations were further strengthened through annual Ramadan Iftar programs for staff and host communities, and welfare support for students during festive periods. Student development and activities. The Entrepreneurship Development Center provided students with vocational and entrepreneurial training aimed at promoting self-reliance. In 2023, 592 part-time undergraduates were matriculated, followed by 2,775 regular students in 2024. In sports, Adustech hosted the 2025 NUGA Zone E Preliminary Games, winning the football qualifiers and representing the zone at the national tournament in Jazz, where each athlete secured gold and silver medals. Students also recorded notable achievements in academic competitions, healthcare, environment, and agriculture. The university commenced the upgrade of its clinic to a general hospital through the construction of a maternity ward, procurement of surgical and laboratory equipment, and overall facility expansion. Environmental initiatives included campus tree planting campaigns, environmental Initiatives included campus tree planting campaigns, establishment of an ultra-modern greenhouse, and expansion of the university farming with improved livestock breeds. With a many percent financial support of the Executive Governor of Kano State, His Excellency Governor Adustech Yusuf, the institution secured 61 million naira and compensated communities affected by campus expansion along Gaya Road and acquired an additional 100 hectares for future growth. Convocation milestones. Ahead of the university's 5th combined convocation ceremony in May 2025, the old library was reconstructed and converted into a university council chamber, while the convocation arena was comprehensively refurbished with the support of the Kano State government. The developments highlighted represent a broad overview of the initiatives undertaken during approximately 2.5 years of Professor Musa Tukur-Yakase's tenure as Vice Chancellor. The reforms spanning infrastructure, academic quality assurance, research expansion, digital communication, welfare programs, and community engagement reflect a deliberate effort to strengthen institutional capacity and enhance the university's contribution to national development. As Adustech continues to grow, the period under review marks a phase of accelerated institutional transformation aimed at improving teaching, research, innovation, and service to the society. As the institution continues to grow, the period under review marks a phase of accelerated institutional transformation aimed at improving teaching, research, innovation, and service to the society. The invaluable support of the Kano State government under the visionary leadership of His Excellency Governor Adustech Yusuf, the University Chancellor Alhaji Dr. Aliko Dangote GCON, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of Council, Justice Audu Aboki retired, members of the Governing Council and Senate, university management, staff, and students whose cooperation and dedication were instrumental to these accomplishments are profoundly acknowledged. Conclusion. As members of a highly respected professional body, amalgamated union of professional writers and investigative journalists, outreach, it has become pertinent and asked to set the public on the right track of information dissemination and consumption, creating public awareness and topical issues that will help accelerate national unity and cohesion, growth, and development. At the same time, we cannot afford mortgaging our moral obligation to vehemently repudiate any attempt by an individual or group of people who are hell-bent on tarnishing the good image of our leaders with high reputation locally and internationally. Our hard-earned and well-established educational institutions across the nation, which groom our future leaders, the youth. Once again, this article presents a mere selection from the throng of magnificent achievements of Professor Musa Tukur-Yakase in his 2.5 years in office as Vice Chancellor of Adustech. Also, it should be noted that this review is an honest and dispassionate endeavor that seeks to demystify in a decipherable manner the verities of consecutive vilifications that have been deliberately and persistently attributed to the progressive administration of Professor Yakase by its ignorant and obdurate critics. Similarly, it is a conscientious effort aimed at exculpating the pristine truth from the irrational denunciations and pugnicities of some ill-informed and resentful social declares, media fanatics, cynics, chauvinists, and the obdurate disparagers who are relentlessly bent on stirring up ripples at the university. In addition, it is very germane to note here that by the time the so-called social media influencers and celebrities begin to tread wares or actions capable of sparking of mayhem in the society, or promoting pomposity, callousness, disorientation, inconsistency, acrimony, and pettiness, these modern media platforms will inevitably begin to pose great liability and threat to the society and its citizens. Above all, this spotlight is intended to pacify the well wishes of Adustech and its current leadership to remain calm and focused and meet unprecedented challenges as well as exculpate the administration from the discompeting mendacities of its ignorant critics. Likewise, it serves as a comprehensive retrospect of Professor Yakase's innate transparency, accountability, prudence, and a practical demonstration of his people-oriented programs for which his administration symbolizes as edged and his 7-point agenda. Undoubtedly, the review will serve as a resourceful research masterpiece for public office holders, administrators, academic and historical researchers. Thank you. Until we meet again for another fresh edition of the program. I'm Yakubu Belutia.